everyone, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. This is me, your guest concept. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys had a great day. I want to say thank you for your love, for your kindness, for your support towards this channel. Thank you so much. Without you, I wouldn't have this channel called C Concept. Thank you for keep on encouraging me, and I know the good of this channel will come out one day for everyone of us. Too much talk. We shall be making this beautiful masterpiece on the street, and it is titled Howtodraftshoulderdartbustier. Yeah, I made one few days ago, so this is it. Don't laugh at me because I know why you are laughing. Yeah, I know you are laughing at the fabric I use. This is my head gear, yeah, because this is the only thing I can use at the moment I will print out this particular project. Basic elements needed for this tutorial are the shoulder line, armhole depth, the bust line, the under bust, the waistline, and the hem, which is the length. Okay, so without further ado, let's place my pattern paper unfold with the biggest part of my body. For this tutorial is the box, because what I'm making here is half cut of a blouse. Okay, now this is my starting line, which is the shoulder line. So from this shoulder line to this line is my armhole depth, and that is 9 inches. From the shoulder line to this bust line is 11 inches. Then I added half an inch to it, making 11.5. From the shoulder line to my under bust is 15 inches plus half an inch, making 15.5. From shoulder line to my waistline is 17 inches plus half an inch. Then I added 1 inch for allowance. Without wasting much of our time, let's proceed and place the circumference. So from this folded edge, I will place my shoulder line. You can only divide your shoulder by 2. My shoulder is 16 inches divided by 2. That will be 8 inches plus half inch to join it to the sleeve. That will be 8.5. Mark it here. So from where the 8.5 stops, I will go down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. As you already know, our shoulder is straight. Then for this tutorial, my neck width will be 4.5. From this folded edge to this part is my neck width. Then I will connect it to the shoulder. So from this folded edge, remember I went in by 8.5 for my shoulder line. From this particular folded edge, I also went in by 4.5 for my neck width. So from this particular point where the neck will stop to this part, I will measure it out. All I have left here is 4 inches. So I will look for the midpoint of this 4 inches. That will be 2. This point, I will set it aside. So on this down part here, we are going to place our darts, and before we do that, there's a line here. This line is our nipple to nipple, call it apex to apex. That is the distance between one nipple to the other. Mine is 9 inches divided by 2. That makes it 4.5 plus half an inch to join it together, making 5 inches. So from this folded edge to where this straight line is 5 inches for my apex to apex. And to place our darts now, because this is where the beauty of the bustier is going to come in, what we have to do is to take the distance between the under bust and the waistline. And for mine here, the distance of my under bust is 4 inches. I will write it somewhere here, while the distance of my waistline is 2 inches to here. So I will take away these 2 from this 4. I will have 2 left. So that 2 I have left, I will place it on the right side of the under bust. And whatever I have on the right side of my under bust, I will place half of it on the waistline, which is 1 inch. And I will extend it also to the hem of the dress. On the left side of my body now, whatever I have here, which is 2 inches, I will place half of it on the left side of the under bust, which is 1 inch. On the waistline as well, 1 inch. Very simple. I will extend it to the hem part, 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and connect it together. Having done that now, on the bust line here, I will come down by 1 inch. Then whatever I came down with, I will go up with same number, 1 inch. And why are we coming down or going up? This will give room for the bust to stay properly. And if you are average or medium, you go down by 3/4, that is 0.75. You also go up by 3/4. If you are small size, you come down by half an inch and go up by. So from this upper shoulder, from this shoulder line, remember we divided the midpoint of the shoulder line here. So I'll connect this midpoint to this point where we went up with. And this very part, I'm gonna curve it to give it that cup shape. Same thing on the left side. Now, on this upper part, we are going to place our darts also, okay? So from the right side of the waistline, I have 1 inch. So I'll place it also on this shoulder line, 1 inch. While on the left side, I have 1 inch on the waistline here. Then I'll divide it by 2. That makes it a half inch. So I'll place half an inch on this upper part. Then I will connect it to the 1 inch we came up with. Having done connecting the darts together now, I'll go ahead and blend these parts very well. Also avoid sharp edges. So on the shoulder line, we are going to form our armhole depth and then another new shoulder slope, okay? And whatever we took from this part, we are going to replace it, okay? So my shoulder measurement was 8.5 plus 1.5 on this upper part, making 10 inches, plus 1 inch to join it together, making 11 inches. I'll place it here. And whatever I have on the shoulder line, I will place it down the body. This will make the shoulder line to have accurate measurements. I will connect it to the shoulder line. So from where the 11 inches stop, I'll go down by 1 inch for our new shoulder slope. Then I will connect the new shoulder slope to the neck I have here left. I will take the midpoint. Now I have 8 inches left and the midpoint will be 4. Then from the midpoint, I will move in by half inch for the front armhole. Connect it to the shoulder slope. So from this chest line, I will place the 1/4 of my bust circumference. The 1/4 of my bust circumference is 12 inches plus half inch for his, that makes it 12.5 plus half an inch we have here because I said we are going to replace whatever we are taking here. So that makes it 13 inches plus 1 inch to join this part together, making 14 inches. Whatever I have on this chest line, I will transfer it to the bust line. On the under bust line, the 1/4 of my under bust is 10 inches. Plus this particular part we took away, we have 2 here and 3, we have 2 here and 1 here, making 3, plus 10 making 13, plus 1 inch to join it together, making 14 inches. I'll place it here. So on the waistline now, the 1/4 of my waist is 11 inches, plus 1 inch we place here, making 12 inches, plus another 1 inch on this side, making 13 inches, and 1 inch to join it together, making 14. Go ahead now and connect this 14 inches I have on the chest line. I'll connect it to this armhole. I'll go ahead now and connect all the markings together. So this space here will be my allowance. While this part, we are going to eliminate this part and this part. While this shoulder slope, we are going to eliminate it because it's of no use anymore since we have the new one. My neck depth for this tutorial will be 4 inches. I will connect it. Then I will give it a shape. So on the upper part of the shoulder line, I will add half an inch for allowance. I'll go ahead and cut it out now and place the back piece. Always remember to notch all the points, for this will serve as a guide while attaching it together. So this is how it's going to look after cutting it. Very beautiful. So I'll set it aside now and I place the back piece. I've placed the back piece. Okay, like I always say, the back is the most quickest and the simplest part of it. And then the only difference here is the zipper allowance. As you can see here from the folded edge, and my zipper allowance for this tutorial is 1 inch. I've also placed the chest line. Vertical measurements we need for the back piece are the shoulder line, the chest line, and the waistline. Just 3. Right. I've also went ahead and I placed the shoulder line, that is from this zipper line to this part is 8.5 for my shoulder line. I also went down by 1 inch for shoulder slope, and my neck width is 4.5. For the back piece, my neck depth will be 1.5. I'll connect it. I'll go ahead and look for the midpoint of the armhole depth now is 4 inches. That is it. Then on the chest line, I will place the 1/4 of my bust circumference. How do you get your chest line? Wherever your armhole depth stops, that forms your chest line. Okay, so on the chest line, I'll go ahead and place the 1/4 of my bust circumference. The 1/4 of my bust is 12 inches plus half inch for his, making 12.5. From this zipper line, not from the folded edge, please. Stops here. And for this line, remember this is our apex to apex, usually called nipple to nipple line. So I place it from this line to this part, 5 inches. This is it. Then on the chest line, I'll be coming down by half an inch because this is the back piece. The back is always longer than the front. So I'll come down by half inch. While on the waistline, I will place my regular darts, which is half inch on both sides. Half inch here, half inch here. Then I will connect it to the half inch I came down with on this line. So that's our darts. So on the waistline, I'll place the 1/4 of my waist circumference. The 1/4 of my waist is 11 plus half an inch we place on both sides, making 1 inch plus 11 inches. That will be 12 inches. So I'll place it 12 inches here. So I'll go ahead and connect this midpoint to the 1/4 of my bust circumference I have on the chest line. So having done that, I'll connect the markings together. Then I'll add 1 inch for my side seam allowance. On this waistline, you might be wondering why I did not add the hem allowance or allowance, because I will be eliminating my zipper bulge from these down parts. That is why I didn't add the allowance to these down parts. Right, so how do you eliminate it now from these down parts? I will go up by 1 inch. From the folded edge, I'll go up by 1 inch. Then I will slant it to this edge, close to this edge. Like this. Very close. That is it. So this is the part that we eliminate, while this side will remain. On the shoulder line, I will add half an inch for allowance. I think the back is done now. Very simple to make. Very simple. Don't forget to like this video. If you have not done so, just press that icon that has thumb up. Press it. And if you are new here, you haven't joined this family, kindly go down below, press the red subscribe button to do so right away. Okay, thank you so much. I love you all. So I'll go ahead now and cut it out. So this is the back piece now. I should leave this part open, but I will leave it like this because I will still be using this pattern paper. Okay, pardon me for that. So by the time you attach it, it's going to stay firm on the back without forming that bulge. We have come to the end of today's tutorial, and I want to say thank you for watching to the end. Thank you for your patience. I really appreciate you all. Thank you for your love and your support. Like I said earlier on, don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up. Okay, I know you love me all. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you so much. And if you are new here, you are here to subscribe to this channel, kindly press the red subscribe button down below to do so right away. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell for new updates. Share this video, tell it to your friends. Okay, if you have any question, drop it in the comment section. I will attend to you as soon as possible. Thank you all. I love you. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.